what is best practice for the pneumatic conveying pipeline? I love this subject. It's one of the things I've always picked up on that people do wrong. So, Karsten, what is best practice when it comes to laying out your lean phase pneumatic conveying piping? Karsten?
It's you know, a lot of people think water piping. How do we route water piping? And you end up with a pipeline that's got multiple bends in it, and I mean, it's not an issue with water. Now, obviously, with lean phase pneumatic conveying, we're running at pressures below about half a bar, and you want to keep the pressure losses down to a minimum. So, best practice there is to use long runs if you can, the minimum amount of bends, and then we also tend to keep the lengths or the horizontal and vertical pipelines instead of doing incline pipelines. And what we have found on the incline pipelines that you actually do get surging during certain operating points, you know, within the pneumatic conveying system, and you want to prevent that from happening. So generally, the shorter the pipeline, the more direct the actual route and the least amount of bends. The other very important thing on the lean phase conveying is that you've got to allow for acceleration lengths between bends, for instance, and also obviously at the point where you feed your material in. Because you need that material to accelerate to the actual conveying speed, so it'll go in and start at 0, and then effectively have to speed up to 25 meters per second before you actually enter a bend. Because the bend normally has the effect that it actually slows the material down again, and if you then place another bend directly after that, you keep on slowing the material down as it basically touches the wall of the bend, and you end up in a situation where after 1 or 2 bends you actually settle the material out. So that is important. Unfortunately, it's not always possible to do that in an existing plant, but we try and keep to those sort of as a guideline.